Into another edition of On the Record, the official podcast of the Erie Otters. I'm Trevor Kamea, and on this week's episode of the show, we sit down with Otters forward Brett Hammond, talk about his scoring streak, the team's lengthy road trip, and what he likes to do away from the rink. Come along, let's have some fun. Well, we're here with Otters forward Brett Hammond as we welcome you into the podcast. Looking forward to what's going to be a fun conversation. Brett, first of all, thanks for taking some time, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Trev.
Absolutely. It's been a long time coming. It's been an episode that I've always thought, we got to have Hammond on the podcast. It's just never come to fruition. So it's great to have you here doing this for us, man. And I don't think there's a better time to have you on the podcast with how things have been going for you on the ice. But let's start with kind of your story and getting into the game of hockey. When was kind of that passion for you ignited? And talk to me about how you got involved with the game.
Yeah, I guess, in Canada, you grow up with hockey as your sport. It's kind of a given. So I think I got really into it just like by playing with my friends at a young age. Like, hockey's always my sport. I'm going to do other things during the summer, but like, hockey's always going to be there. No matter the season, I'll be playing hockey. And throughout high school, I played some other sports, but hockey was the constant.
Always hockey, and that's awesome, man. And yeah, again, kind of being involved there, and then you battle your way through, and then first overall pick in the U18 draft. Talk to me about that, and that process, because it's almost a little bit of a unique process to get to the OHL.
Yeah, I think they only started doing the U18 draft like 3 years before I got drafted, so it was like I would have been undrafted otherwise. But I wasn't expecting to go first overall. But yeah, it's definitely one of the more unique ways to come into the league. I know Bruce McDonald took that same path, but yeah, like, you're kind of looked at as a guy that's like a 16th rounder, or is he a first rounder? So that's like the battle. I was like, what am I, a first rounder or 16th rounder sort of thing?
Well, that's got to be an interesting mindset. Talk to me about, maybe how that has affected you mentally, and how, does that give you kind of a chip on your shoulder, but also a little bit of pressure because you're a first overall pick? Like, walk me through that mindset.
I don't think it was pressure. I think I was a part of the same draft class as Shafes.
Yeah.
And like, he was a first round in the priority selection,
and then Mishiak first overall in the import draft,
Mishiak,
one of 3 first overall picks that year.
That's right. That was a good class. But yeah, I didn't see myself as a true first round pick, but I did think, like, I'm a good hockey player. I deserve that, and I'm just gonna work hard, and hopefully I'll make the team, and I did. So it worked out.
Absolutely. Talk to me about the development throughout your 3 years now here in Erie, and going from that role and just kind of growing as a player, as a person here over the last few years.
Yeah, I went to high school here, so a bit of my life's been spent here, but
Fairview grad, right?
Fairview. Oh, no, I'm not a Fairview grad.
Not a Fairview grad.
I still got to graduate through my home school.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
But no, Fairview treated me well. It was a good place to do some high school. But my first year here, I was kind of just like, you get told to be like a role player sort of thing. You come in, you're U18 draft pick. It's like, Hammy, you're big, you're fast, just be big and fast. And then you have expectations of yourself where you want, well, I do, where you want more than that. So now, like, this year sort of thing, I'm scoring goals. It's like, I want to keep this up. I want to keep doing this. Like, how can I expand my role? So that's what the 3 years has been, is every year, how can I expand on my role?
That's really interesting because, again, this league is talked about and is known as an amazing development league. And I think your story of, kind of where you started to where you are now and where you are currently sitting in this room in late October of your third year in the Ontario Hockey League is exactly what this league is about, and just the growth. And, obviously, talk to me about the adjustment from, where you are before and then you jump into the OHL. Obviously, that's a jump that's talked about a lot.
Yeah, it was pretty big. I played U18, and before that, I was playing AA.
Yeah.
So in 2 years, I went from AA to the OHL, and I'd always get like chirped about that a bit. I was like, yeah, it's pretty funny. I came from AA, but it worked out, and now in my third year here, it doesn't seem like it was a bad decision. So
100%. That would be for me, right? You come in AA, it's a great story, and there are guys that Ottawa, talk to me about what that kind of hockey culture is like there as opposed to Toronto, because I feel like Toronto's kind of the different vibe around the youth hockey scene and getting the OHL from Eastern Ontario as opposed to the more central location, the GTA.
Yeah, I mean, like when I first came to the O, it felt like a Toronto league almost.
Yeah.
Everybody seems like they're from that area, but yeah, I mean, I know a few guys like Quinn Beauchesne goes to my gym, player for the Guelph. Villeneuve, I grew up playing with. Baudouin, I grew up playing with, but like there's definitely a few guys that you just like remember. You know, it's like I played with this guy, I played with that guy. A lot of the guys from Toronto, they like everybody knows everybody.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm lucky if I know one guy on every team. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting because with the you mentioned it feels like a Toronto league, and it's like all the Toronto guys, they stick together, they're always around each other, and then it's almost like everybody else. So it's definitely a unique vibe for sure, and you can definitely you can almost tell who the Toronto ones are and who they aren't.
Yeah. I feel like you're right.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting vibe for sure. Talk to me about, again, your kind of start in Erie. You get that first season under your belt, and then growing into year 2, and even some of your highlight moments from the early part of your career. If I'm not wrong, you scored your first goal. It was right around Christmas. Was it in the Panthers jerseys?
No, I think that was Wes's. Wes's was okay. Jersey. Mine was the next game. So he scored. At that point, we had both. Zero. We had 0-0. Like we had no points. He scored. I got an assist. I remember jumping on his back during the celebration. And the next game I scored. And then we had another player here, Russian Toroptsev.
Yeah.
He scored the game before West. So it was like 1, 2, 3. Bang, bang, bang.
I remember that was my intern. That was one of my intern years. That was my first year as an intern, I believe, where I was, kind of around, but not as around as I am now, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember interviewing all three of you guys after each of those games during the media scrum. And I remember you and Royston are two that were always kind of interlocked, right? Because you're both big, but you're also very different players. Like the way you play the game is similar but different. So like I remember you two always kind of being linked in a way when it comes to, style of game and everything. So that was kind of interesting seeing you guys playing together and then obviously scoring pretty close together those first goals. So walk me through that moment, right? You get the assist the first night, and then you come in the next night. That would have been New Year's Eve then, I believe. Pretty big crowd, special night, tradition in Erie, Pennsylvania, and you get your first.
Yeah, that was a special night. I mean, like in the back of your head, you're thinking, man, how have I gone half a season without a point, let alone a goal, let alone a point? And then, I mean, you score. And remember when I scored that goal, I was just like, my jaw just drops. I finally have a goal. And then it was like, just for the rest of the game, I was just trying to get off that high of scoring because it had been so long. It didn't come easy. So, and I mean, West felt the same way. Like, I remember that season we were in competition. So it was like, I'd be scratched, he'd be scratched, I'd be scratched, he'd be scratched. And just the whole time it was like, Wes and Ham, you're basically the same player. You can just play either one of them. And I think that kind of that's played into how it's been for the last 2 years. Is just we're very similar and we push each other to be better because we have the same kind of strengths and weaknesses as hockey players.
Yeah, again, same kind of build, right? Right shot, big guy, good skater. Yeah, kind of not afraid to go to the greasy areas to score a big goal. And yeah, I think that has certainly translated to a lot of success. But I feel like, again, you guys almost split off in different directions where, the skill is certainly there for Wes, but for you, more of the skill, and for him, more of the, the rough stuff and getting involved there. Yeah. So again, that as a case study from an outside perspective has been really fascinating, kind of both of your guys' growth as players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this year he's been, like, Wes is a more natural, tough guy than me, that's for sure. Like, our rookie year, he had probably had 5 fights. Last year, I think he was north of 10. But, like, I've only had 2 now, and it's just the way, I think he hits a little more than me, but I think I still play pretty hard, but he's naturally an aggressor. I remember that game. Do you remember that game in Kitchener where the kind of line brawls?
Yeah, I do remember that one well.
Yeah, well, Wes just, like, loves that, so I remember he went over. He's the reason for my first fight, because he went over, punched a guy, and then chaos ensued.
So, yeah, walk me through that, your first fight in the OHL.
My first fight it was against Andonovsky in Kitchener.
That's a big guy.
Yeah, it wasn't like it's hard to say it was a real fight, but like it counted as one. So everything's kind of dying down. West goes over, punches guy in the face. just for kicks, because he's Wes. And then the guy chases him down. I don't know, Wes is saying something to him, and then they start going, and I'm already in there, so I just grab him, look at each other, and I can just tell, oh man, here we go. I think I threw one punch, he tackled me to the ground, and then he was on top of me. He's like 6 feet, 220, and I was like 17, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm screwed. But then I think it was Malcolm that like flipped us over. So then for the next 30 seconds, I was just on top of him. And then in the locker room after, I was like, hey, Malx, like, thank you. You kind of just saved my life. I was really scared there.
Yeah, Andonovsky was tough defenseman for what he provided in Kitchener.
Yeah, he was a big dude.
Yeah, big dude. Not somebody, but you're a big dude too.
I
wouldn't
now
mess
I
with
feel,
you.
yeah, now I feel like I'm a pretty big dude. But I remember as a rookie, I kind of felt like I wasn't. I was like 16. I don't know if it was an age thing or a size thing, but I've always been tall. I just didn't fill out as much.
But do you think even some of that comes back to mindset of
I think that's
I'm a
mindset.
rookie in the OHL, right? Again, just trying to battle my way through, trying to find my role within this league. And again, it feels like the OHL can kind of be a big, bad, scary league. But then you figure it out, and then when you figure it out, like you're locked in.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way to put it. I mean, I came in, and we were a very talented team when I came in. And we went to the playoffs, and then last year we went to the second round. Like Alfano, Terrance, like Shafes, Malx, Fimis, like the names kind of go on and on. But I think it was very important for me to just be a consistent player. And for me, that was like, okay, what can I do every game that's going to be consistent? Well, I can skate really fast, I can finish my checks, and I can chip it pucks in. That's like a baseline. That's like a B game. And then now it's like, okay, what's my A game? Because now I have opportunity. So just trying to figure that out.
Absolutely. Again, just the growth. And, you mentioned all those names that are guys that are no longer with the organization. So that gives you an opportunity then to kind of elevate to where you've become this year.
Yeah. Well, I think I got a long way to go this year. I mean, we only played 11. I've played 11 games, but
yeah,
it's a good start. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, walk me through, obviously you're coming off a streak of 5 goals in 4 games. Walk me through, like, you could just tell the confidence was certainly there, but, how does that feel? Like, is it, you hear it in baseball all the time when you're on a streak like that, you're like, everything just, it feels like a beach ball. Is that kind of like, I guess in a hockey sense like that, the goaltender just feels like he's taking up no space in there? Like, walk me through that.
The goalie still takes up space. No, I think for me it was just telling myself that, I need to score goals. Like, our team hasn't had a lot of success this year, so we need to score goals. And if someone's going to do that, I'm in my 3rd year here, that's probably a contribution that I should be making, and that's kind of been a mindset change for me. And I've started to notice it with my sticks more too. I used a stick this weekend, it was like very whippy. I was very like aware of that, and then in practice today it was more stiff, and I was just constantly bending it, trying to get the whip back that I had with the one I used over this weekend. But it's just little things like that. I became more aware of tendencies that I can like score more. Like, I'm more aware of my stick, and that's one of the reasons that I'm scoring.
That's fascinating. Like, it's a little thing that you kind of think about, and there it is. And the goals have been coming. I think the one that really stuck out to me was the one in Niagara that you snuck it through the slightest of openings. Walk me through that moment. Were you trying to shoot it there?
I was. I've had a lot of people ask me that, yeah. But I got the pass from Cato, and then
terrific play by, I want to make sure that gets recognized, because he went all the way around the world to make the pass.
Found me, and then I think as soon as I got it, I looked at the puck, and then I looked at the net, and I see a guy coming at me, and then I see the goalie, and I see that little corner. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm shooting there, and it went in.
In.
That's a shot you take in practice. You maybe hit that once every 50 times. So I think a little bit of it is definitely luck, but I was aiming there. I can say that. Yeah.
And you break it down to me as if that happened in about the span of a minute. All that stuff that you just explained happened in the span of a second, 2 seconds, where you have catch the pass, shot coming in, or trying to find where you're going to shoot the puck, guy coming at you. The game just feels so slow, right? And when you're feeling that way offensively.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that's a good way to put it too. Even in the Sioux, when I had another nice shot in the Sioux this weekend, and I went far side. The guy, there was a defenseman very similar to the Niagara play, but this time the guy in front of me was kind of screening the goalie. So I'm like, all right, he's screening the goalie. I'll just pull the puck into my body where it's kind of hidden from the goalie, and then shot it far side and it went in. So I think a lot of it is just focusing like on scoring. Like I didn't really have that focus last year, and this year I definitely have it, but hopefully that plays into more goals.
Certainly so. And, another play I don't want to let fly under the radar in Niagara, the back check, flying back, diving in, end up off the goalpost. Walk me through that play and your kind of mentality in getting back to deny a goal, because it pretty much saved one.
Yeah, I was actually more excited about that than my goal in Niagara, just because I feel like that's been my identity for 2 years. It's just a guy that hustles, and in practice, you just know that, yeah, Hammy's just going to work hard. It just doesn't really matter what he does, but he's going to work hard. And I think that play kind of encapsulates like how I play. And I think I took a shot, puck's kind of bouncing around. I came back, and then I just full speed dove, and it was kind of like Shafes in the World Juniors when he went right into the post. I watched it back. I was like, oh yeah, that could have been an injury.
Well, I said it on the broadcast. I was like, goalposts and Erie Otters are a touchy subject. Still too fresh, man. So,
right.
Yeah, when it happened, but then when you first, it didn't look great, but then you got up and you had a smile on your face and like told Megan, like, I'm good.
Yeah, I was winded. That's all. There's no injury. So
thank goodness. Because, that was a scary play. But again, one of those plays that you see from afar and like, man, that just saved a goal. And even that had to have felt as good as scoring a goal.
Yeah, it felt better, to be honest.
Yeah.
The other thing is, it's like your goalie gives you a tap, and it's like, yeah, thanks, Bernsey.
Yeah,
appreciate it, man.
Nice to help him out, right?
Yeah, it was.
The goalies they're always helping you guys out, not helping him out once.
It's good to give back.
Good to give back.
Good to give back. Yeah,
great to give back. Yeah, that was obviously a unique situation, a unique play, and obviously a unique road trip, right? Walk me through kind of the mindset of that and just the grind that goes into being away from home for 8 days.
8 days, yeah, it was a long road trip. I mean, you guys got your own like car for the trip.
Yeah, we were ripping around in the SUV. We were living pretty luxuriously.
Kind of car was that?
It was a Chevy Suburban. I wasn't on like the thing for it. Yeah, it was, right? Yeah. So we took a video, and I can show it to you after. It's on Tim Quinn's Instagram right now. Okay. If you want to go check it out, at Tim14Quinn, he'll be thrilled that I plugged that
you
for him.
It, yeah.
But yeah, Pete took a video of me coming out of the car, like as if I was the president. I'm like, I don't need all this, man. But it wasn't a bad way to live on the road for a week. And yeah, I didn't have to do any driving. I was just chilling in the back seat, just loving life back there, man.
Put the seats back. And
you're just chilling. So it wasn't, honestly, for me and for us, like the grind was more the hotel nights. But again, for me, I love being on the road. I absolutely adore it. So it was a nice little week away from the chaos of being in Erie, Pennsylvania. But obviously for you guys, you're on the bus, you're away from your family and your billet family. However, you're with each other all the time.
Yeah. That's the best part is like you're together all the time on the bus, but then when you're at the hotel, you got, like, I had a connecting room with Julius and Fraish, and I was with Chow. So we just had those doors open all the time. And Julius is a musician. He brought his ukulele with him, so we're just on our phones listening to him play Riptide or Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And then he gave Fraish some lessons, gave me some lessons. So I think a lot of it's just getting closer with your teammates, and that's what kind of what that road trip brought.
Unbelievable singer is what I've heard for Julius.
Yes, you got to have him on here and just let him sing.
Just let him sing. That would be the entire episode. We'll have a full set of record Julius.
Should be on America's Got Talent. He's got crazy good voice.
Crazy good voice. I would love
voice
to
of
hear
an angel.
I would absolutely love to hear it.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, that's and again, those hours, the meals, everything that goes into it. At the end of the day, like, that brings everybody together. And it feels like this is a really tight-knit group. And I've said that really about the team, especially since you've been here over the last couple of years when I've been more involved. It feels like that culture has been passed down from, the OAs in that first year that you were here to Pano and Alfano and Marty, and then now on to you as a veteran guy and kind of leading that culture here within the Otters organization.
Yeah, I think we've always had great OAs. My rookie year, we had Benny Goudreau come in. We had
Unreal
Sova.
overeat. Like, he would just come up and have lunch in the office all the time.
Oh, yeah?
He was just one of the most chill human beings.
Yeah, he's a chill guy.
Yeah.
And Johnny, with Johnny too.
Yeah, Owen Johnston.
Johnny.
Yeah,
he
Zach,
spent
who's
5 years here,
producing
so.
this, we were talking about the Owen Johnston bobblehead giveaway. That would have been your first year within the Otters organization.
I do remember that, yeah, because
he's got the Nux up. Yeah, that's a good one.
I remember that one, yeah.
We got to get a Brett Hammond diving into the net bobblehead.
That would be pretty fun.
That would be sick.
Yeah, I remember that year, go over to Sova and Johnny's house. They lived together, and we just, I don't know, I remember we watched Super Bowl there, watch football or play mini sticks. They had like laser guns there, and just be teenagers, be kids. And then last year with the OAs, like the same kind of culture, just good vibes come together. And now with Eddie as an OA who's been here for a long time, he's kind of got that same mentality as them. And me and Wes have been here for a long time, so I think we all kind of understand it. And we have the guys that, they come from whatever league they've come from, the USHL, and they know junior hockey, and they know what winning culture is and what good culture is. So
how fascinating is that for you, the guys that have come over from, these other junior leagues, for you, kind of a not super traditional path, but for them, an unheard of path to the OHL. Yeah. How does that, kind of your perspective and their perspective, like how does that kind of work out?
I don't know. They came here and it's like they never thought they'd be in this league.
Yeah.
So now they're like, they know exactly what OHL hockey is, like why it's the number one development league in the world. So, and for me, I mean, there was a time when I was between Erie or going to prep school, and now we've got Ritter, who went to Northwood, I believe, in Lake Placid.
Last guest on the 2 guests ago on the pod.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he went to Northwood. That was one of the schools that I was thinking about going to. But then, like seeing him go from there to here is like, wow, this could have been my path, but this was his path. So it's kind of neat. The hockey world's very tight knit. No matter where you play, you end up kind of learning a bit about everybody.
Yeah, certainly. And again, I think the paths now, there's so many more opportunities for guys to for one, further their career, for guys to come to the OHL now, and it's worked out really generally pretty well for the Otters. But it opens up a path for a guy like yourself as well.
Yeah, I mean, the NCAA path is open now, too, which is pretty sweet. I mean, that's the rule that made this all happen. So now you got guys that are all here, and it makes it pretty easy for them to recruit. We're all in one league now, so now you know where to take guys from.
Does that kind of is that something that's crossed your mind? Obviously, you still have another year left, but kind of talk to me about that kind of thought process.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple paths of playing pro hockey, and I think for me as a guy that's always been kind of a under the radar player, no matter where I am, but I was playing AA, U18 draft here. NCAA is just another chance to keep playing hockey. So yeah, that's probably what's next after a year.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And again, that not only to play hockey, but also further your education, and everything that comes alongside that. It's really exciting to, build your future on top of, playing in, again, the best junior development league in the world.
Yeah.
It just amazing how that has just changed the landscape of everything, and how this team, I mean, you take a look at a Cal Hughes and a Garrett Fraser. Those are 2 guys that never would have played here. Now you get a returning player out of that, right? So it just continues to fascinate me how, the world of building a team and what general manager Dave Brown has to do to work through it all and figure out, who's coming where and
who's going
recruitment.
where and whatnot. Yeah.
Unbelievable. So for you, obviously growing into more of a leadership role this year, what is that kind of taken on, and how have you maybe taken some of the younger guys, even maybe a Jake Murray, who can maybe play a kind of a similar style to you, under your wing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a couple years older than them. I have some experience in the league, so I think a lot of that is, I mean, being a good player on the ice. You just want to be your best version of yourself, and you want them to see that. And then, I mean, away from the rink, if you just spend time with each other, I think, like, if there's a team get-together, whatever it is, team hangout, like, you invite everybody. It's not just groups of, the older guys, the younger guys. Obviously, there is that because it's naturally how it is. They go to high school together, but I think having those opportunities to spend time together and really get to know each other is pretty important.
Yeah, it certainly is. And again, I think that it kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the road trip, right?
Yeah, it's just exactly that.
Those opportunities of, being together, whether that be going to a movie here or on the road and hanging out in somebody's hotel room for a few hours.
Yeah.
It's those are the things that good teams have, and that's something that's being built here for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
So always great to see that. And again, that off the ice chemistry, but again, the leadership role, and Dylan Edwards, obviously a guy that you've played with here for a long time. His meteoric rise to where he is now. You have played with, you would have been on a line with him at some point, right? Or
I don't think I've ever played with him. No.
Really?
No, I've never played with Eddie.
Wow.
I played with his brother, but
played with his brother, yeah. So that actually kind of surprises me that you guys have never played together.
Yeah,
that feels like it would have happened at some point.
Feels like it would have, but it didn't. Yeah.
Huh. So I guess there goes that question.
Yeah.
But no, obviously, those guys and the veteran guys, and again, being a veteran guy and knowing what these younger guys have gone through at their level, like how are you able to kind of articulate that to them?
Just by your actions. I mean, like Eddie came from the OJ.
Yeah.
In a way, he played here, and then like he came back. Like he had the comeback Eddie, and then I remember he was all over OHL for a bit because he was like, "Whoa, this guy got cut," and then he just came back, and he's like ridiculously good at hockey,
Scoring goals every night.
Yeah, and Eddie's like a heck of a hockey player, and yeah, great leader, great guy off the ice, and I think like having him as one of the like front guys is like great for this team. I mean, he's a good person, works hard, good at hockey, so I think you can't really beat that. Yeah,
and something that you can almost model your leadership style off of a little bit,
100%.
which is definitely beneficial to have those type of guys. And again, we go back to the NCAA thing, and Garrett Fraser, again, a guy who kind of comes out of nowhere, comes to Erie, and now he's one of the true leaders of this group.
Yeah, for sure. He's got a lot of energy, so
a lot of energy.
He brings guys together in that way, and I mean, Cal's a great leader as well. I remember like when he first came here, he was like even though we're the same age, it was like, wow, this guy's a good leader. So he came from the BCHL, and he's very comfortable where he is. And, I was surprised he came back this year because I didn't know if he was going to Boston or not. So, yeah, it's great to have
again,
him.
it leaves that door is so open for guys. And, it doesn't, just because they're committed for 1 year doesn't mean they have to go, right? Yeah. So there's opportunity for guys to stick around another year or so and continue their development. And again, I think some of those guys, and you would know this obviously for playing in this league for as long as you have, like this league is an incredible opportunity to grow your game and then go on to that next level. So I think we've seen that a lot, especially with those guys.
Yeah, you have. And I think the OHL is now that the NCAA rules changed, I think a lot of it is it's kind of a feeder. Like I wouldn't say it's a feeder league, but like it's a development league, and you get some of the best players in the world play here. But then there's also guys that, they have a path less followed. They got to play more hockey in different groups. So it's pretty great. It's like another chance. Like if you're not ready to make the jump from the O to the A or the O to the ECHL or whatever it is, wherever you go after, it's like having that rule change is just more hockey players can play more hockey sort of thing.
I agree. And I almost feel like that was almost the reasoning for it to not be allowed in the past, is we don't want to give a guy a second chance, but why not?
Yeah, why not, right?
And I think that has changed over time, and I love that because, again, it gives guys, again, not only the opportunity to go play, but to also learn in the classroom and make, get that education at an American university. Not saying that the universities in Canada don't do an awesome job of that, because they do, but, to play a high-level hockey while also growing. I mean, that's a huge opportunity for so many guys. I've talked to Noah a lot about this. This is a path that he's considered. It's really it's awesome to see that you guys all have that chance now.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
So let's talk a little bit about your hometown and one of my favorite.
Ottawa?
Yeah.
Talk about Ottawa? Okay.
We'll talk about Ottawa. One of my favorite Brett Hammond moments that I've been a part of was your game-winning goal last season in Ottawa, with so many people around, a lot of friends and family, a lot of 91 jerseys, and obviously Bruce McDonald, Ottawa guy. You've played with some guys from around that area. What did that mean to you, and what is the opportunity been like, working with so many guys from that city?
Ottawa's got a special place. It's like Erie. I mean, I've lived here for 3 years, but Ottawa's where I grew up. So, I think I had 80 people at that game.
Wow.
And I think there's a picture. I think Pete took a picture, or someone did, of just my family cheering. Like after I scored that goal.
It would have been Pete because he was on that trip.
Pete? Yeah. Well, it was just a picture of like my entire family. One of them, like my buddies, my dad, my mom. Just there's a couple Hammond jerseys in there, and I posted that on my Instagram just because it's like so special that like even though I'm so far from home, I can come back for one game. I get to score a goal, game-winning goal. My family's there, and Pete captured that moment. So, I mean, yeah, that was one of my favorite games. Yeah.
Yeah. What's going through your mind in that situation? Puck kind of bounces you in the slot and just.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I think I whacked it out of midair after it hit off the goalie. It was just like, there's the puck, there's the net. Super quick play. Yeah.
And yeah, for that one to stand up as a game winner, is that something that kind of crossed your mind throughout the rest of the night?
Yeah, I think after the fact, someone mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it was the game winner. That's sweet."
Yeah, that was a pretty cool one. And again, I'm all about telling the story, right, and everything that goes into it. And that was the ultimate story, right? Guy comes back to his hometown, scores the winner. Otters win 2-3 on the road trip, and that was an interesting time around the organization. And for that to be the game winner, and again to do it in your hometown, always has to feel that little bit more special, especially in the big stage of Ottawa too, right? You're in the capital. It's a big rink. Like, what is that like? And almost, do you feel any pressure playing in your hometown?
I think I did when I was younger, and then now it's kind of feels like there's less pressure. But Ottawa's not like any other game for me. I mean, it's where I'm from, so there's almost like an edge. Like, oh man, I really want to beat these guys, and I didn't get to play there this year.
Yeah,
but I watched, and it was like it wasn't our best game. It was a tough watch. But then knowing that they're coming back here, that we have another chance, and this time I'll play in it, is like, okay, that feels good. I get a second chance here.
Does it feel any different playing them in Erie as opposed to in Ottawa?
Yeah, well, you got the home crowd, which
That's
is
true.
a big advantage. And then I think like when teams come to Erie, especially from the East, like I have a friend who's on Ottawa, and he hasn't played here yet. He's like, yeah, what's Erie like? Because it's so far away. Like, you have no idea. And then they come here, and it's like, our fans, I find, are like so dedicated in the OHL. Like, and I don't think it's like that in Ottawa to the same extent. And I think it's just kind of shocking for the young guys to like come here and see that, and then see like, man, these guys can step up their game, especially when you got the backing of a home crowd. So, looking forward to that game. Yeah,
that's one to circle for sure. Did you grow up going to 67's games, mainly Senators games, or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. I think I've went to my fair share of 67's games, went to my fair share of Sens games, but it's always like Ottawa hockey's super fun. I think it's very like it's for the kids is kind of how Ottawa is. Like everything there is just very like like they market to the younger generation, and I think they do a great job at that. But then, like, as you get older, it doesn't have that same rowdy feeling. And I think Erie's got, like, a nice mix.
Yeah, 100%. And with Ottawa, I love that rink, by the way. The rink in Ottawa, TD Place. Like, I'm a big stadium guy. I travel all around going to baseball games all summer. I'm fascinated by stadiums. That is as unique a situation as it gets, right?
They got that football field, too.
Yeah, you got the football stadium right under it. So, very interesting time in stadium construction. So that was a bucket list one for me. But imagine playing there, because you got the one end that just never ends, and the other side there's just the wall with the video board.
The video board and a couple little TVs. But yeah.
Do you guys have like a specific spot where you sat growing up, or do you kind of
Yeah, we sat like you had that big wall, and then there's a box kind of off to the side. But yeah, I've gone to my fair share of games there, and it's in Lansdowne, which is like a great area.
There's so much to do right around the venue.
And I live 20 minutes from there, so I just, like, you can almost bike there all the time. Like, growing up, I had friends there. You just hop on your bike, go to Lansdowne, hang out in that market area. But, yeah, for hockey games, it was the same thing. My dad had friends there. Park the car, walk over, and go to a hockey game.
Absolutely. And, yeah, obviously, playing your hometown team, does it feel a little more special, or do you, when you see the Barber Pole jersey, does it kind of, like, like, evoke all the memories?
It does invoke some memories. I mean, My uncle Scott played for the 67s. He won a Memorial Cup with them.
Yeah.
Back in like
Brian
1982.
Kilray was the coach there.
Kilray was his coach, yeah. But he was like a 16-year-old when he won that. So I think I grew up with a sense of hockey in my life. My dad was a skier, but his older brother played for the 67s. His younger brother went to Cornell. And then I've always wanted to kind of follow in their footsteps in a way. And playing for Erie, playing against Ottawa was like really a great chance to do that. And yeah, whenever I see the Barber Pole jerseys, it's like, man, it's a good game.
You a fan of the jerseys?
I love their jerseys.
They're my probably my favorite in the league. I
they're
like the
iconic.
Dark Barber Pole jersey is unbelievable,
Mm-hmm.
elite. So let's step away from the rink a little bit. What do you like to do in your free time? What keeps you going in the season? What do you like to do in the summer?
I mean, before I came here, which I forgot about this, I read the text wrong, but me and Julius were going to go play guitar with Cal. So he's such a good musician. He's going to teach us some things, but that's not like a regular thing. I think golf, like in the months that you can, is definitely a part of it. I do some school. Like I do some university courses while I'm here, and then
heads up, get yourself prepared for
exactly for when I do have to go. And then I live with a 12-year-old boy and an 11-year-old girl. 12-year-old girl, 11-year-old boy. So we always like playing catch or making up games in the backyard or playing mini sticks. So my billet family is definitely well incorporated into my day-to-day.
That's awesome, and having that opportunity to, connect obviously there, and also have some fun and just recognize that you're playing a game, and obviously it's at a high level.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like it's still all about fun, and it's a game.
That's what it's about. Being a part of a community too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's really important. I think doing stuff outside the rink goes hand in hand with what you do on the rink. And my billet, she's a principal at McKean Elementary, and so I go there and I read sometimes.
Oh yeah,
to her students, and
that's
it's
cool.
like there are your thank you cards, and it's like, man, you did something good. You went read a book, and they're super appreciative. Whenever you come in, they got big smiles on their face. So I think doing stuff away from the rink is just as important as what you do on the ice.
100%. That's an unbelievable mindset to have, and I think that's something this organization has done a really nice job of, and especially with Mally. He has really kind of increased that initiative, which has been really, really cool. And getting you guys out there, and again, we were talking. I think you guys are carving pumpkins coming up tomorrow, is what I've heard. So even just the fun little things like that really go a long way toward I think it's important to humanize you guys, and like you're not just you're not robots that play a sport, right? And I think that's one thing that the community stuff kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we've always Sean, and Darcy. They always organize great events for us to kind of feel a part of the community. But then I think it's when you actually yourself, you go out and you find something that you want to do, and it's not just being given to you by the organization. It's a great feeling because it's like you went out, you did something. And I think a lot of the younger guys, as they play here for longer and longer, they'll start to realize that.
That is awesome, man. That's really, really cool stuff. And obviously doing so much great work in the community. And obviously, again, that goes such a long way in terms of, you do something like that, you go read a book, somebody comes back to a game, and you made a fan for life.
You made a fan. You made someone's day, you made someone happy.
Yeah.
Be kind, be useful. That's what it all comes down to. And for us, you can incorporate that into hockey pretty well because you have the opportunity to go out and people kind of look up to you, so you can use your voice.
100%. It's a great platform to have. And I guess kind of changing gears a little bit, Erie is quite different than Ottawa. In terms of the city itself. What has been maybe your favorite spot around the Erie area that you've been able to hit up?
Spot? I do like Whispering Woods. I like that golf course. My favorite is Presque Isle.
Presque Isle is awesome.
I was
in the
there
summer
yesterday too. Just went on a run, and then in the summer I've heard it's unreal.
Yeah, I guess you guys aren't around to experience Erie summers are elite, man. They're unbelievable.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that. But that beach is nuts.
It's beautiful.
It feels like the ocean. You don't see the other side, but I love that place. I go for runs there a lot, and when my mom comes down, we walk there, and even in the winter, it's just as beautiful. It's just ice. And
you ever skate out there?
I have not skated out
there. I guess that
don't
probably would be frowned upon by that might be frowned upon organizationally, but that'd be fun to rip around.
It's a good idea. Maybe you can do that.
I can do that. Yes, I can do that. Yeah, me and Tim, we'll film a video, and there we go.
There you go.
I've never done it though. There's been years where it's frozen over, and we'll have kids will go out there and just play hockey.
Oh yeah,
on the bay. Oh yeah, it'll freeze all the way through, at least enough to go out and play hockey. I've never done it though in my days, which I think that's something I've got to cross off.
All right.
One
Yeah,
of these days would
definitely.
be really cool. But yeah, Presque Isle, I mean,
Presque
we're
Isle's my
something
favorite.
we're really lucky to have here near. Have you ever checked out the sunset out there?
I have. Yeah.
Elite.
Well,
Unbelievable.
so the first time I went on a run there was like 2 weeks ago. And I run out, and I've been running for 45 minutes. I watch the sunset, go for a swim, and then it's dark. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a state park. Maybe it closes. So then I sprint back, and then it didn't close, thankfully. But then this time I went out, and then I came back, and then I timed it so that when I was back in my car, it was the sunset. But that was a little shocking experience because I thought I was going to be locked in a state park for a night.
Yeah,
So
luckily I think
wasn't.
if you're on foot, you're fine. But yeah, the gate will close.
Yeah, I thought the
at
gate
some-
was going to close.
Yeah, the
And I
gate
was
does
like,
close at some point.
Gonna have to call my bill. Like, hey,
There's like
I'm stuck in the state park.
There is like another way out though, I think. Like, so I remember when I was a kid, I don't know why this comes back vividly. That had happened to us. We were doing a drive around there and the gate had closed, but there's like a back way out that if you can't get in, but you can get
You can
out.
get out, okay.
Type situation. So if you're ever caught in that again, you're not going to get stuck there. I think we can hopefully make sure.
Yeah.
That'd be some heck of a story though. A day game on a Sunday or something, and Brett Hammond stuck at Presque Isle.
Yeah, that'd be an awkward phone call to Mally. Hey, I'm not going to be at the game for like another hour. I'm stuck at the beach. Yeah,
That would make for a good movie script, though.
Yeah,
Come back,
yeah,
show
maybe.
up late, score a goal, score the game winner, and all gets forgiven.
that's right.
Unbelievable.
That would be good. Yeah.
Well, as we kind of wrap things up here, obviously you're a veteran here in this OHL and grinding your way through your 19-year-old year. What are the goals? What are the expectations for yourself as you try to build on things and for this team going forward?
That's a great question. I think for myself, what I can do is try and be more offensive. I think I'm a third line right wing. I'm playing with Cato and Planter, and we've been playing quite well together. So I think just with the minutes I get and the opportunities I get, just taking advantage of that. And for me, that's just being a plus player kind of thing, like having an impact on the game, scoring some goals. And then as a team, I mean, we want to win games. Like that's what it's all about, is winning games, and we need to start clicking on that note. But yeah, that's about it. Win and score.
Brett Hammond, thank you so much for the time, my friend. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Trev.
Absolutely. That is going to do it for another edition of On the Record. You can get us anywhere you get your podcast. And of course, we're live every Thursday on the Gem City Sports Podcast Network, presented by Rebich Investments. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again on another edition of On the Record.